How's it going, everyone? Ewan Craig here for another weekly video. This week I'm going to be talking to you about things that have been trending in the news from all over the world. As you've probably seen on TV, the Tour de France is taking place at the moment. It is probably the largest cycling event in the world, and it takes a lot of training, a lot of fitness, stamina, strength, courage, funding, I'm sure, as well, and teamwork to complete and to take part in this race. So if you know anyone that is taking part, big respect to them, and it's good to hear that there's a British person in the lead, from what I've read on the internet. Chris Froome, or Chris Froome, he's won the Tour de France before, and now he's on the brink of winning it again. So really well done to that guy. And a friend of mine has just finished her cycle from I think she cycled from Australia back to the UK. She cycled all up through Europe. She cycled she's been through more countries on a bicycle than I've actually been to. So that's absolutely amazing. And that's Catherine Liver, who I met at Mount Buller back in 2013. We ski instructed together. Absolutely lovely girl. So big respect to you, Catherine, and it's good to see that you're home safe. 1 or 2 weeks ago in America, 4 Marines were shot dead and 1 police officer was injured. That was an ISIS attack on American soil at an American military base, which is a massive thing. I mentioned it last week, and this week something else has happened in America. Complete opposite of that. So it is American civilians taking up arms and standing outside certain buildings and stuff, holding weapons that do serious damage. If you want to know more about it, go on to BBC News. It's one of the biggest feeds on their website at the moment. If you click on America as well, it'll be right up there. But the photograph was just 2 guys, looked a wee bit sort of like Bogan, like, you know, the mullet and the ponytail, big mustache, shades, cap, and like a M16 carbine or I don't know, whatever. I don't know what guns. Powerful guns that shoot bullets and could do a lot of damage. The government says thank you very much, but this is not necessary, and I understand that, because, like, yes, I know where you're coming from. Somebody's attacked your country and you want to defend it, and you want to be, you know, patriotic and stuff like that, and yeah, and that's why. Yeah, it's sort of why you have soldiers, because they are ordered to do things. You know, they're ordered to make things, because otherwise, like, you could have a civilian who is just there, sees something, isn't actually 100% sure if it's real or not real, and something bad could happen from that. So there's a lot of pros from it, you know, and there's a lot of cons from it. So I'd say listen to the government, and like just go home and I don't know what you do. It's not a safe thing for everybody else, for civilians to be standing with guns in their spare time. It's not something I would recommend to any country, no matter, you know, unless World War broke out, which that hasn't happened. I've never ever used this company, but they're being sued for 198 million this week in Canada. By a Canadian company, or Canadian government. Uber is the taxi app all over the world that's caused controversy with taxi drivers, because they have... is it basically just you sign up if you've got a driver's license, clean driver's license in a car, and you can get paid to drive people about places for cheaper than what they pay in a taxi? I'm not actually 100% sure. I know that in Australia it didn't go down too well at the very beginning. I'm not there anymore, so I'm not too sure. But there's been massive controversies in India, South Africa, Hong Kong, Canada, United States, and the UK, and a few other countries that I can't remember. But drivers are seeking over $400 million from all over the world. You know, every different country. It all adds up. $400 million in damage costs that have been done to their cars. Seriously, it's a San Francisco based company, and you know, obviously you've started something, maybe it's your dream, and somebody's trying to knock you back down. Yes, people always say stand up for what you know, and you know if you think it's the best. But seriously, whenever it comes to $400 million of damage costs and being sued for 198 million, yeah, it's sort of just stay down, you know, stay down, roll over, play dead, and it's. I'm not. I can see where people are really angry because like traditional taxi drivers, especially in like countries like New York, or not country cities like New York, and then London, you've got your black taxis, and there is other countries I'm sure that have traditional taxiways, which is something that a lot of people sort of cherish in some sense. But whenever they see the price tag of taxis nowadays, I can understand that they don't really cherish it as much. But I don't know what's going to happen. What happens after you get sued for $198 million? Does David Beckham bail you out or something? Or I have no idea. That's that's more money than Greece has. That's nuts. It's just absolutely crazy. If anybody else knows any more on this, or if you know anyone that works for Uber, or if you're a taxi driver, please leave a comment on your views on this company and teach me a little bit about it. I'd love to hear. Please don't shout at me for putting it in my video. That would. Off the Tasmanian coast, a man was killed by a shark as he was scallop diving with his daughter. It's such a tragic incident. It probably was a great white shark or a tiger shark or something, knowing Australia or Tasmania, Australian waters. It's absolutely crazy, you know. I remember now from whenever I lived there, it's like, you know, you heard things on the news all the time about sharks, beaches being closed because of sharks, and like I'm from Northern Ireland, so it's like, well, what's going on? And then they started like live baiting drums and stuff, and that's when I was like, wow, that's just not on. Whenever they used to like live bait the drums, so the sharks would come and then they'd catch a shark and shoot it. That's just not on. I'm pretty sure they stopped that. But yeah, tragic incident for that guy. I hope that his family will see this video. But my thoughts are with him. And Mick Fanning, world champion, I think 3-time world champion surfer, gets back in the water after his freak incident last week with a shark. Well, as he was about to hit a wave, a shark grabbed his board, I think, or grabbed something. He punched the shark. I'm sure a few of you might have seen, you know, correct me if I'm wrong, I call them memes, or memes, or I have no idea what it's called, memes. It's Mick Fanning, like it says, punches the shark while surfing, and then it shows like some footballer like cries after tripping on a lace or something like that. I find that quite amusing. But yeah, if you are a bit worried of sharks whenever you're going to Australia or something like that there, speak to your lifeguard if you're at the beach, stuff like that there. Keep an eye out on the news. I doubt you're at the beach at this time of the year because it's pretty cold in Australia right now, as I've seen from some of my friends on Snapchat and Facebook. I hope you're having a really good winter down under. I wish I was actually there in the cold. It's so hot here, and it's only getting hotter. At night time it's like 25, 26 degrees, and it's just so humid. It's mad. But that's alright because I came home at 5:30 this morning, so that was alright. So the United States President has made it to Kenya safe and sound, and he has been conversing with the President of Kenya, or the Prime Minister of Kenya, and he met up with his family and stuff. But one of the things he was talking about was gay rights. And as we all know, Barack Obama, absolute legend for what he did, legalizing gay marriage, LGBT, is it? Lesbian, gay, bisexual, yeah, LGBT community, marriage for everybody in that community, which I think is absolutely awesome. But the Prime Minister or President of Kenya, I think they were in Nairobi at the time. There's a video on BBC News if you want to go and see this. He says there's some things in our culture that just are not accepted, and I have no idea how to take that. I have not much knowledge of the African culture at all. But now I'm gonna read more about it. And I'm gonna go and watch that video. So I am. I advise you to do as well. It seems very interesting. I'm a big fan of Barack Obama. I just think he's not perfect. Nobody is, and people in power always get slandered for things that they're not doing, or they might have missed out some things. But I think while Barack Obama's been in power, he's done a lot of good things, and he's stopped the bad things from happening again. And for me, in relation to the fighting and stuff, and he I reckon he's a good player of chess, a good chess player. He can hold his cards very close to his chest, and he knows he speaks whenever he knows what he's talking about. Unlike me, but I'm a big fan of his, and it's absolutely, for me. I'm actually quite concerned about what's going to happen in America's government. Now, I don't think it's going to affect me much whenever Barack Obama goes. It's just I'm really intrigued to see what happens if it, like Hillary Clinton. I don't know. She just doesn't seem trustworthy to me. She just doesn't. And after the last president of the United States, Barack Obama's filled and changed a lot of things. So good on him. I'm gonna say good on him, and I'd love to see him in power for another term, but it's not gonna happen, which is a shame. Okay, so you have most likely have seen this week or last week or in the past year, talking about Pluto, the wee planet. It's like way somewhere out there, behind all the other planets. And I think it left the solar. Did it leave our area of planets, galaxy or Milky Way or solar system? It left and then came back. Maybe it was lonely. I'm not too sure. I don't really care. But everybody else seems to be talking about it. And you don't think this is a mad waste of money? Just who care? Why do you care if there's nitrogen glaciers on Pluto? Whenever you're eating your waffles in the morning, that's such a good topic to talk about. It's like, I could think of so many other things that, like, you could do with the money it takes to take a photograph and send it back and then put it into, like, it's probably taken up loads and loads of newspapers and been on the news, and that stuff's not cheap either. So it's like this one stupid topic, and it's just my opinion. Okay, don't go mad, guys, don't go mad, just my opinion. I just think it's daft, and I'm not. Somebody did say, yeah, there's loads of other companies. Whenever I posted about this earlier, no way, it was like, yes, there is loads of other companies. And that comment, if you, I can't remember what it was I said, but I didn't mean every satellite in the world is hell. They're not made all by the devil. So every satellite obviously has really good uses. I wouldn't be able to take this video right here and send it to all my friends all over the world. I'm not even sure who watch my videos, and to talk and to express my feelings and to have a phone call with my friends and to Skype with my friends and to have interviews. Obviously satellites are awesome, they're a great piece of technology. Just the ones that take photographs of planets for absolute, okay, there's probably some scientific reason behind it, in case we ever need to go and live on a different planet, which I actually can't believe people actually think about this stuff. Are they taking cocaine with their noodles? I have no idea what it is they're doing, but it's nuts thinking about living on another planet, growing trees on Mars. Fair play to you. I give you a round of applause for thinking outside the flipping box, but seriously, it's not necessary at the moment. Let's wait until we use all the oil and cut down all the trees and kill every last tiger and lemur and every other animal and kill each other while we're at it, because we've got nuclear weapons. But we don't need to think about living on another planet at the moment. In my view, just as a human being that lives on Earth, I don't think we need to. I'd say instead of that, some of the money used for these excursions, we could call it that, a wee excursion to Pluto, It's only 2 billion. It'll be fine. No, it's absolutely. I'll ask you, what would you do with the money if somebody handed it to you? And I don't mean, yeah, let's go to Hamleys in London or Harrods and go shopping. I mean, what would you do to help our world, to help the planet that we live on? What would you do if you were given the funding that whatever kind, is it NASA or a branch of NASA that organizes these wee trips over out to Pluto and Mars and to the moon, where there's absolutely no people, no roads, no cars, no trees though that we know of, and we have to wear a really big suit with a really big helmet and just spend loads of money for it. Yes, people climb Everest, and that's a really, really good thing to do, you know, reach the highest mountain. But then somebody had to go, I'm going to the moon today, and these guys are going to pay for me. This money's not an issue. But it's like, all that money you could, what I would do is probably get a load of people who know about how they've been trying to fix the planet for ages and stop certain things like, you know, a lot of mining in the world. Yes, we use iron ore and stuff, but not all the mining. Obviously, some mining is necessary. You know, we do mine things for a good thing as well. And I would learn about how places where we could try and grow new crops and save lives in countries and create more peace. Sorry, I'm trying to keep my hand in shot here for the things that I'm counting. Create more peace, create health in the mind of Western civilization, because there's so much greed and hatred and shooting and drugs and alcohol. And I'm not saying that I've never done any of these things. You know, I've had greed. I've never really abused drugs. No, never taken drugs. Alcohol, yeah, I like a beer. But I mean, you know, people that are using these things far too much and exploiting them far too much, experimenting with them. You know, scientists used to do loads and loads of good work. Now scientists like get paid to make drugs. Teachers get paid to make drugs, and there's TV programs influencing it. Like, I never watched Breaking Bad, but sort of, I watched the first episode where a teacher is basically becomes a mad drug dealer in like half an hour. It's like, that's just, I just don't think these things are very good for society. And you know, call me old-fashioned, but that's just the way I think. I want the world to start looking after each other, the people, and to stop thinking, oh, he's got a nuclear bomb, I need to do this to keep him happy. And I really wish there was no nukes. That's one massive thing. I'd take the nukes away and I'd try and denuclearize them, if that's a word, and just promote good living. You know, obviously I don't have much of a chance of doing it. I'm just another regular Joe, but I really do wish, and I hope some of my friends wish for the same thing, because if we don't actually wish for these things, we're never gonna be able to get the opportunities to change for the better. Okay, guys. Well, sorry about that. It did drag out a wee bit, but that's just, I had to just get that off my chest. I feel a lot lighter now. But today's birthdays are Samantha Conroy, I believe it is, 23 years old. Rachel Ball, 21 years old. Happy 21st. Vodka chili shot, please. Vodka chili shot, chili of any type, flake, powder, seeds work well, or even put a chili in a shot of vodka if you want. Chew it. And Leanne Ross, happy 24th birthday. Happy birthday to all you ladies. And I hope you have a really good time with your friends and family and drink the night away. And yeah, that's it this week. Only 3 of yous. No idea what else is happening on social media, because my phone is rubbish. It literally takes about half an hour. Oh no, not half an hour. Maybe about 7.5 minutes to like change apps sometimes whenever it's like if I have more than 3 or 4 apps running. And this phone's like only like a year or so old. It's crazy. It's like technology is amazing. You know, these phones are awesome, but I think it is like a marketing trick so that they keep making money. Because obviously, like if the Nokia 3310 had Wi-Fi and GPS and all those things, we never would have had to like change. Which that literally just would have been awesome. And that light change, well, my bulb, I think it's about to blow. So on that note, guys, have a great weekend. Hope just enjoy life, enjoy the rest of the summer and winter in New Zealand and Australia, and stay safe. Love your friends, love your family.